G'day, and welcome to this week's post of Ultimate Body Language. Now, this week's post is basically on how to sell yourself. And when I say sell yourself, I don't mean into slavery or like some kind of street hooker, but more how to be a good salesperson, how to sell yourself in a job interview, how to sell the car at your used car dealership, etc. So having a great product is one thing, but just like everything in this day and age, we need to be able to present it in the best possible light. So here are 10 rules. First of all, I'm going to quote for rule number 1, I'm going to quote from The Art of War. Know your battlefield, know yourself, and know your enemy. So although we're not selling weapons to North Korea, this quote from The Art of War can be used for everyday selling. Putting yourself in the customer's shoes can help you anticipate their reasons for rejecting your product, and also help you modify your deal to make it more appealing to them. If you find out why they're not so keen for, say, the car that you're trying to sell, maybe you can find us an alternate, or maybe have modifications put in it to sell it to them. This will also help you find common ground with whoever you're trying to sell to, which in turn will make them more likely to be more open to you. So, second rule, repetition. Now, do not apply this idea literally, as people will think that you are a robot. So, for your key points for your argument, it is more important to mention them more than once. And it's also recommended that you put it at the start of your presentation, and also right at the end as well, as usually what you say in the middle is usually forgotten. So make the important points twice, if not 3 times, and also paraphrase it so you don't sound like a robot again. So remember, beginning and the end, and paraphrase, and repeat. Number 3, present both the pros and cons of your idea or of what you're trying to sell. This will make you seem like a more reliable and honest source, and not like some cheesy infomercial salesperson. No offense if any infomercial salespeople are listening. If you are an infomercial salesperson, I am sorry that I have offended you. But just going back to that, it'll make you seem more honest. So, yeah, talk about the downsides of your product and also how it can be easily overcome. And rule number 4, explain what they have to gain from using your product. Help them visualize their life with your product. We live in an age where imagination is really declining. We don't need it anymore. Back in the old days, people had to read books and they basically had to imagine all the details that the words weren't covering. Today we got 3D goggles and basically TV on demand. Yeah, so it's a lot of our imaginations are sort of dying off. So help them visualize themselves with your product. Help them imagine how impressed their friends would be if they pull into their driveway and they got some new fancy car. So yeah, help them visualize their life with your product or with you as an employee or whatever you're trying to sell. Now, rule number 5, feed cookies to their ego. Nom 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 nom. Now, at this point, I don't mean to be an obvious sleaze and just complimenting them on things that are obvious. Instead, compliment them on things that are that's something that they're very passionate about. Like say, for example, I've not met so many people that can recall that many quotes from The Simpsons. Oh no, just something that they're really into. It'll help you build a bit of rapport with them, and yeah, just help you have a bit of a closer bond. So number 6, if you have a good history, show it off. Nobody likes to gamble on something that hasn't been tried and tested. If you've sold your idea or your concept or whatever to other people before and you've got a history of happy customers, make sure you let your potential customers know about it. Nobody likes to bet on a product that isn't tried and tested, so if your product is tried and tested, make sure your customer knows that. Now, number 7, make sure you can sell it to yourself. So it goes back to rule number 1 about knowing yourself, knowing your enemy, and knowing your battlefield. So put yourself in the customer's shoes, and then basically run your sales pitch sort of against yourself and consider whether you would buy it or not. And if not, well then you need to update your pitch a little bit more. And number 8, be more energetic. Energy is inspiring. Now, when I look at these pyramid schemes, network marketing schemes, these guys are the kings of using energy to promote a business. It is one thing that they do very well. Now, as far as the structures of their businesses and what have you, just like most people, I'm not a very big fan of, but the one thing they do get right is using energy. Now, speaking of which, I'm selling an exclusive membership to Global Synergy Corp for $100, and if you sell 2 memberships, you get $5 of your entry fees, and if they sell 2 people, you'll get $2.50 of their membership fees, and etc. By the way, I'm joking here. I'm not actually running a pyramid scheme. I don't want to go to jail. Or, yeah, anyway. Now let's all jump and do high fives. Oh, sorry, I'm not selling pyramid schemes. Yeah, so I'll move on. So number 9, be modest. So when I go out clubbing, I see many suitors trying to impress the girls by faking these ultra egos because they're advised to look confident. And we've all seen some pretty cringe-worthy fails on that line too. There is a fine line between arrogance and confidence, and that line is somewhere between being able to make fun of yourself. So be confident, but also throw a couple of jokes at your own expense, just to show that you're pretty humble. In number 10, it sort of goes back to my point of number 8, to be energetic. And number 10 is to love what you do. If you're not really passionate about whatever you're selling, if you're selling furniture and you couldn't give a rat's about it, maybe you should be selling cars or something instead. So find a passion and go hard for it. You're going to be much better at your job if you actually like what you're doing and earning more money as well. Anyway, that's the post for this week, and thanks for listening.